Hey guys and gals, Buckley Woods Man, South Central Ohio. It's a February 12th, 2020, and it's rainy and nasty out, so I decided to do my year-end video for metal detecting. It was actually my first year metal detecting on February 12th, 2019. So exactly 1 year ago today, I picked up a $10 metal detector and started swinging it. And actually with that $10 metal detector, I found my first Roosevelt dime, silver, and first Barber dime, silver. And then I upgraded to maybe a $50 detector, swung it for about, I don't know, maybe a month, and then I got the Garrett AT Max. So that's what most of these finds were found with. So let me start with this box of stuff. Sorry, I'm doing this on the floor with a little light, so hopefully the lighting will be a little bit better than normal. But those are all my thimbles. Didn't find any silver thimbles, but those are all copper thimbles. There's probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 in there. Bunch of harmonica reeds. It's a bunch of pewter or lead utensils. Just some various stuff there. There's a bunch of D buckles there, more iron buckles, a whole bunch of round musket balls, various lead. These are like cogs out of clocks, little gears, a whole bunch of different pieces and parts of those. Just lids, probably mostly compacts. This is full of toe taps. And quite a few of those this year. And just some various parts and pieces in there. Pieces of old cars. Some more modern 50s or 60s toy coins. There's a piece of a cap gun. What else interesting in here? Some spoon bowls. There's some more lead pewter utensil handles. Pieces and parts of unidentifiable objects. These are some box reeds. And quite a few of those. Some more modern jewelry and stuff. Pieces of cap guns. And we'll move on to the next box of goodies. Yeah, let me get these out of the way. This is a big old lock that I found this year. It's pretty cool. It's probably one of my older locks. Falling apart. I need to try to figure out how to do electrolysis and clean some of this stuff up. All the iron stuff. Got tons of horseshoes, tons of, like silver plated silverware and stuff like that. I just won't take the time to show all that. All the bigger stuff. That's a cap gun I found. It's pretty cool. This would have been one of my more stellar pieces, but as you can tell, it's broke on this half. But it was a gear shift knob, probably from the 50s, 60s. I wish that would have been whole. It's pretty cool. This is my one and only Crodal bell. It's in perfect shape. We're really pleased with that. And this is a pretty interesting find. It's a compact, ladies compact, with the initials MFA on it. And that stands for Mary Frances Alloy, who is my grandmother. I was detecting my aunt and uncle's early 1900s home site. Found that. So that was pretty cool. This is all my clad. There's probably, I don't know, close to $100 in there. These are, there's some clad in there too. Clad quarter. But mostly those are wheat pennies, wheat cents. And I got a lot more in some books that I was filling up with wheat cents. But yeah, let's go on to the next box of goodies. These are all buttons. But most of them do not have any designs on the front. They're mostly just flat buttons. But there are tons of them. As you can tell, the sites that I dig or search are loaded with buttons. Those are more modern. There's some pewter and lead buttons. Most of them are Tomback, or flat buttons. I don't have too many Tomback buttons. Yep, those are all my buttons. And primarily, I've only searched 5 sites, and that was, I just got into metal detecting because I arrowhead hunt, and as you probably already know, and a lot of the sites I arrowhead hunt, I started to see where it looked to be old house sites, so got me a metal detector, figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone, started metal detecting. Found all this treasure. But here's some more interesting finds. Big D buckle, big piece of harmonica reed. This buckle here is pretty cool, it had a heart on it. This here is pretty cool. It was like some sort of badge, maybe a kid's badge. It has an eagle on it, been rolled up by the plow though. Little car. Made in the USA. Piece of a cap gun. Ladies compact, has a rose on it. It's pretty cool. This buckle is pretty ornate. This was one of my better finds. I think it's a solid sterling silver. I thought it was plate at the time I found it, but it's got the initials RJ, or looks to be like RJ or RG in it, like a utensil handle. Pretty mangled up though. This is lead. I don't know what they use that for, but cut it almost look like a comb. I found this bullet. I don't know how old it is, but it's got 3 rings on it. Hit something. And this buckle here was really cool. It cleaned up well. I used some CLR on it. Not sure how old it is, but really cool. I found a toe tap, or heel plate. My only heel plate I found. Brass heel plate, hard in it. And several dog tags. That one's 1938 there. And 1971. 1930, that one. And I got a couple watch winding keys right there. Some sort of pen. That big old medallion. That medallion. This was pretty cool. It's actually a or I think it was Korea War actual dog tag. So I think the 52 is the year. That was cool. Probably from the Korean War. And this was really cool. It's a locket. It's got some stones in it. Then picture was still in it. Somebody's face. I think it's just gold plate, but that was a really cool find. And this is the only silver utensil that I found. It's marked sterling right there. That was cool. The only rings or jewelry that I didn't find any gold this year, just some gold plate, like this gold plate, high electric gold plate ring. That was pretty cool. Had me going. And some clay pipe stems. Other pieces of jewelry. That ring there. Gold plate. Old Zippo lighter. Couple tags here. And let's move on to my next case. Try to keep this video as short as I can, but these are my more fancy buttons that I found. And I'll start with down here. My favorite button is that Civil War infantry eye button. I have another Eagle button there, but it doesn't have anything in this shield, and it was smushed up. Or that one's not smushed up, that's the good one. That's the one that's smushed up. Would have looked just like that one. I believe those to be Civil War. That's probably my favorite button right there. And then just various, probably 1800s buttons with design on them. Those are cool. With the gilt on it. That one has a little ship on it. Couple Tomback buttons. That looks like to be a train. But out of all those buttons I showed you in that case, these are the only ones that had design on them. So that's probably my biggest flat button I found. It's huge. But those are my more ornate buttons. And last but not least, my coins. I'll go through those. I got them all in flip cases. Alright, what do we got here? I got most of them marked, but there's going to be a glare in there. That's an 1816 Matron, 1817 Matron head, large cent. That's the 1831 large cent. That was whole and used as a washer. And that was my very first large cent that I ever found. That was with the $10 detector. I think it's a probably a braided hair. That was the second one I found, 1835. I got an 1846. That one there's pretty smooth. Couldn't get a date on that. 1847. That was in beautiful shape. There's one that I got that has been, that's another 47, been altered on the back. And I'm not gonna show you, but one of the letters, I think it's this 1848, one of the letters in cent has been altered, and it spells out a, yep, it's that 48 derogatory word towards women. So, but I thought I was seeing things when I saw it, and I Googled it, and it's actually what some folks did back in the day to those large cents. They would alter them like that, and that alteration is actually, I found it on Google, so it is a legitimate thing. 1849 is a nice shape. My Indians are on the other page. That's an 1850. 1851, 1852. These are my 2-cent pieces. Got 3 of those, 1864, 1864, and 1865 hold. Only draped bust. You can barely make out Lady Liberty facing to the right, but I'm only draped bust. So I got 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think, 15 large cents, 3 2-cent pieces, and these are all my Indians. And some of them are actually in beautiful shape. Sorry about the glare, that's horrible. That one is not in good shape. 1865, 1872 key date, or 1865, I think. That first one was, that's an 1875. That one there is my 1870 something. I can't make out the last digit. I got a 96, 97, 97. 2 of them I found in my mom's yard, which their house was built in the 80s, 1980s. But the house right across the street was built in the early 1900s. That was an 80, 380s, 480s, 83, 84, 86, 88, 89, 90, 91. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 on that page. And all on this page. 20, so 35. 92. These are all my Indian head scents. I like finding Indian head scents. I got 35 Indian head scents for the year. And then these are my silvers. That was a 94 Barber half dollar, 1894. Then an 1877 Seated Liberty half dollar, Carson City Mint. Seated dime, 1884. And then I got one 1840 half dime seated hold. And that was probably my most exciting find. It was my Spanish half real, 1796 hold. Got a 41 Washington quarter, 1941, 1942 Washington quarter. The only Standing Liberty quarter I have. It's slick. Can't see a date. Then a 16S Wing Liberty dime, a 1919, 1925, 1925. And then that was pretty exciting too, that cap bust dime. However, the obverse is slick. I can't get a date. Those were the years they were minted. And 244 Wing Liberties. I only got on 2 Roosevelt dimes, 46 and a 55. The 40, no, actually the 55D was the first piece of silver I found, the cheap old detector. And that was all. Nope, I got a couple more pieces of silver. I got 2 Barber dimes, 1990 or 1900 and a 1911. And that was actually the first piece of old silver that I found. And then for, well, these were interesting. One Flying Eagle, 1858, and then a Hold Indian cent, which you can barely make out the shield on that side. I mean, you can't see anything on the obverse. And for my nickels, I got a Shield nickel, 67, 1910 V nickel, 2 Buffaloes, and 1 War nickel, 1943. And these were my tokens that I found. St. Martin Eating House, 1863 Civil War token, and a Spain 10 Escudos Isabel 11, 1868. That's probably just a coin. I don't think that's a token, but it was hold. It's pretty cool. And then that one there, it's hold, but I couldn't make it out. But for my first year of metal detecting, I feel that it was a pretty successful year. Not that I'm ever going to sell anything. I mean, I'm just out there for the enjoyment. And like I said, I arrowhead hunt at the same time. So it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And it's like Easter egg hunting, or you never know when you get a good signal what you're going to pop out of the ground. So it's pretty fun. But I'm hopefully going to get out tomorrow, the next day, start back business as usual. Try to get some cool stuff out of the ground, whether it be metal detecting or arrowhead hunting. So. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it. If you didn't, thumbs down it. Subscribe if you want. I'd like it if you did. I appreciate all my subscribers. Until next time, good luck out there and happy hunting. Later. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and clip these on there too. I just wanted to give you a look at all the marbles that I found while I metal detected this year on the old home sites. 3 clay marbles that I found. These are some older marbles. One actually has pommel marks, or where it looked like it was clipped off. Real cool. And just some pottery shards, all kinds of marbles, different colors, real pretty. That's just from walking and swinging the detector. Also found several points doing that, arrowhead points. And and a Celt. I just remember that. I got these out and I wanted to show you. Those are some that are busted up. Most of them are in pretty good shape. But if you're thinking about getting a metal detector and getting into it, I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're out there walking looking for arrowheads or artifacts. So, really enjoyable hobby. So, all right. Talk to y'all later.